guys, what's going on? This is the conservative speaking, and I wanted to talk about Alana McLaughlin, the transgender who defeated Celine Provost in the transgender's first MMA bout in Miami, Florida, due to a rear naked chokehold at 3 minutes and 22 seconds into the second round. And what I found intriguing was that the Florida State Athletic Commission actually signed off on a biological male competing against a biological female in a MMA bout. And the reason why I say that is because regardless of of how you slice it and dice it, considering that this man identifies as a woman and was going through the transition of being a woman, biologically, he's a male. And this biological male was actually allowed to compete and beat up a biological woman. So what does that say immediately? Well, for starters, I guess it says that if you are a biological male that beats up a biological female, that's wrong. Completely, that's wrong. I mean, you will get crucified by the media, and you will get crucified the by the court of public opinion. However, if you are a biological male that identifies as a female, and you actually go out and you beat up a female, hey, fair game. Because in the end, it's not about who you are, it's what you identify as. I mean, how is this honestly going to fare? Well, I mean, how is this going to fare really in society? Because you have a lot of men out there that are willing to take advantage of a woman. And they'll just say, well, listen, if I want to beat up a woman, all I have to do is just identify as a woman, and I will be able to do that. Because we know that biologically males are stronger than women due to the fact that men have something called testosterone. It gives them the energy that would be able to dominate a woman 15 times more than a woman that's on estrogen. It's just, that's the nature and the belly of the beast. So I guess this is where society is heading towards. And I think it's important to say, honestly, that woe are the ones that says evil is good and good is evil. We already know that Biden signed an executive order allowing trans people to compete in female sports. In other words, trans women can compete in women's sports. So, quite frankly, men that were biologically male who identify as female can now compete against women. Now, what does that do for women's sports? I mean, as far as women's sports go, I mean, it's not the most watched sports. So now you're going to have biological males competing against women, and having to now compete against someone who biologically are not even on the same page. Keep in mind, these men still have testosterone, and testosterone is a completely different energy from estrogen. So these men are always going to have that competitive edge over a woman. Now, is this fair or is this foul? People are more focused on wanting equality Okay, everyone has a right um, to be equal. Everyone has a right to compete against whoever that they want to compete against. Men who identify as women can now compete against women. But I want to give you guys a scenario. So let's say that the male athlete has been competing against men all their life, but somehow, some way, they just can't. I mean, they just can't crack the top 50. Like, let's say you have a biological male who's an athlete. Let's say he competes in track and field, and he's always used to coming dead last every single time. Well, now that biological male can say, you know what? I'm not doing it here, all right? I'm not getting it done here. I'm not getting the full recognition here. Well, why don't I start competing against women, right? Why don't I start competing against women and maybe my fortune will turn for the best. So now the biological male now identifies as female, and they call themselves a trans female. And now this trans female is now competing against women, all right, in the sport that they really have no business competing against them in the first place. And the only reason why that they're doing it is because they couldn't compete against their own sex for a specific period of time. So now the biological male now identifies as female, all right, is competing with testosterone, which gives them a, a, a significant edge over a woman. And now that biological male that usually will finish dead last in track and field is now dominating women's track and field and coming in first all the time. Now, is that fair or foul for women's sports? How does that compete? How does that compete against women? Are women able to compete against that? Because we all know that biologically men are faster and stronger than women. Okay? In the same sport that the man would have finished dead last competing against other men, now he has the opportunity to compete against a woman and win and come in first just about all the time. How can a woman compete against that? How can a woman who knew that she was the best among all of her other biological women, now she has to worry about coming in second against a person who was biologically a male, who in which the male that was competing against the female was a biological male. All right? There's no win in the fight. That's the bottom line. There's really no win in the fight. Now, America's worried um, about being equal and about spreading around equality for all. But truth be told, it doesn't matter how much that man tries to identify as a woman. No matter how much estrogen the man tries to take. Biologically, he's still a male, and biologically, he will still have some testosterone that will allow him the competitive edge against a woman. All right, that's what it is. Unfortunately, okay. When we talk about equality for all right, when we talk about fairness, is that being fair to the competitors ahead of you? For a woman, what's the purpose of competing if you know you're competing against someone that almost always will beat you, because biologically they have more tools to beat you than you would? Where's the fairness in female sports? Where's the fairness? So, do we just stop promoting female sports and we start promoting more? Then we start supporting trans sports, because truth be told, it doesn't matter how much the man identifies as a woman. The man is still a man, and you're having a man biologically born male competing against a woman. All right. Any man that competes against a woman more than likely will always have the edge over that woman. Always. Because of biology. All right. The men have testosterone. And that the testosterone will always give them a bigger edge over the woman any day of the week. So what does that say about women's sports? I mean, it's bad enough that women's sports is not looked upon as men's sports. Now, allowing trans females to compete against them, does this dilute the sport even more? Let me know what you guys think, because I'm really interested in your guys' opinion as as far as this topic goes. Is this fair or is this foul to women's sports? And also, what do you guys specifically think about trans women competing with biological women? Leave a comment below. Leave a comment below after you subscribe to my channel. Smash the like button. Smash the like button if you like the video. Share the video. Subscribe to my channel. I'm going to have a lot more content. And with that being said, this is The Conservative signing out. Have a blessed day.